Three marijuana businesses currently operating in Springfield are in the spotlight today as city councilors get a progress report and a look ahead to the future.
Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell has the story.
On Tuesday, the Springfield City Council's Economic Development Committee held a virtual meeting where they discussed the three marijuana businesses currently operating in the city.
The market, from what I understand from the media nationally, is that it has been starting to change, that the wholesale price of cannabis has been reduced.
Springfield City Councilor Melvin Edwards asked representatives from each of the cannabis facilities, INSA, Liberty Cannabis, and Six Bricks, what challenges they are currently facing.
We expect 2023 to become very difficult. The market is sort of trending in that direction. We've seen price compression, both at the wholesale level as well as the retail level, and we expect that that's going to continue.
Representatives from Liberty Cannabis and Six Bricks echoed INSA's rep Steve Riley's concerns. Councilor Edwards also raised questions about the industry.
I understand that somebody died in the area of Western Mass related to cannabis, working at a facility. Have any of you, could any of you three representatives speak on any incidents that you may have had? Calls to the police department? Have you had any disturbances on site?
Riley and the CEO of Six Bricks, Peyton Schubick, responded to his request.
We have an OSHA safety person on staff full time, so we try to be proactive on all those kind of things.
The biggest thing that we've come across is expired IDs and helping folks understand what they need in order to properly enter. But outside of that, no issues.
Councilor Edwards ended the meeting discussing the possibility of expanding operational hours until 11 p.m. for each of these facilities.
This industry needs support. Your contributions to our taxes and to your taxes and to your employment of our residents is important. So I would suggest and ask respectfully that you guys would send to even and my colleagues ideals and how we can be more supportive of what you need to do to be successful.
Reporting in Springfield, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.